Welcome to Exposing the Hidden Reality. I'm Annette, career reinvention coach and caffeine-powered human.
And I'm Sandra, women's life and leadership coach. I bring the woo to our conversations.
And this is the podcast where we call out all the unspoken stuff, biases, outdated expectations, and all the things women navigate in work and in life.
Yes. We bring to light what we see happening. Smart, capable women stuck in the same patterns because no one really talks about what's going on.
We'll bring some difficult truths.
Welcome, insightful experts.
And sprinkle in a little chaos and fun.
It wouldn't be us if we didn't, right?
True.
So whether you're walking the dog or tuning in during your commute, we're glad you're here. Let's do this.
Let's do this. You want to do the let's do this together? Like 3, 2, 1, let's do this. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's
do this.
Morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. I don't know about you, but this time change is literally kicking my butt so hard. So I'm going to do what I can to not show you that I've been awake since 3 o'clock this morning. All right. So I don't know if you have the same experience. We are joined today by Katy Spada. I'm so excited to talk with her because her topic that she introduced and proposed to us is leading when culture doesn't fit. And I thought that that was so timely and so amazing. So Katy, please take a few minutes and introduce yourself and tell us all about you.
Yes. And Katy has been up since 3 this morning.
2, yes. But why? Tell them why, Katy. It's not the same reason that I have been.
No. Just I'm so excited to be here. Yes. I just love this. Yes, I'm Katy Spada. I'm the founder, CEO of Ary Maan, and we are a South Asian inspired kids and family matching pajama business. But we're really more in the business of embracing cultural identity in a modern way and empowering the next generation and our families to really own all of who they are in a very confident and inspiring way. So
that sounds so fun. Yeah, tell me a little more about the brand and what got you excited to do this.
Yes. So I have 2 little children, ages 7 and 4, and they have Indian heritage, multicultural heritage. And as a mother, creating the magic for the holidays, I always wanted them to feel completely full with both of their identities and celebrating all of the holidays. So we would celebrate Diwali as equally as Christmas. And Christmas, we do the matching family pajamas. It's always a fun tradition. And a couple of years ago, my then 4-year-old said, "Mommy, where are my Diwali pajamas?" And they didn't exist. And that just kind of opened up my eyes of like, well, let's just try to create them. And in the process, I can show her what it takes to go from idea to reality. And through this journey, as I've been bringing these products to market at other families, it's been mind-blowing to see how much appreciated it truly is to see these Indian motifs in a Western silhouette and the excitement that the kids get about their heritage.
Amazing. So what did the first set look like? Did you create them yourself? Did you work with somebody else to actually sew them all?
Yes.
Skills.
Yes. I mean, I have a background in finance and tech, so no to any of that. I just had the ideas, and Google is amazing, and found a brand launch consultant to help me connect me with manufacturers in India and kind of walk me through that whole process of what that looks like. And found a friend of a friend who picked up graphic design in South Asian heritage as well. So worked with her. I had an idea on the prints that I would want to buy as a consumer, and then just worked with her to bring it to life, and the team. So.
Wow. That's so incredible. I absolutely love this. My favorite memory of my niece is she's much older now. She's a young adult. But when she was 3, I sent her a pair of pajamas that I thought were kind of cute. And I didn't think anything of it. And my sister said she couldn't get her out of them to actually wash them.
I mean, I'm an advocate for pajamas.
Yes. I mean, they reach that they're what we reach for when we feel sick, when we're tired, when we want to sleep in, when we just want to snuggle up with our loved ones. And in the South Asian heritage, like, it's so fun to dress up in the ethnic wear, but it's often very scratchy. There's a lot of glitter and sequins and work everywhere, and it just doesn't feel good on the body. And I wanted, but it's so beautiful, and you feel so regal when you put it on. And I really wanted to capture that same essence of that regalness, but in that same like cozy comfort where you just want to snuggle up with your little ones late at night, like keeping that kind of the glow of the Diwali and the lights and the magic, keeping that going late into the evening after you've taken off all of your beautiful party wear.
Oh, so fun. So fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, what was the reaction when you started to, seek out people to distribute your products?
Yes, it's been kind of an interesting journey from a business perspective. My first launch strategy was really doing the booths, going to a lot of like the Diwali pop-ups and booths, and those were not necessarily super successful. I think people kind of were surprised, and that wasn't like what they were going to that place to see. And really, the most success has been through online advertising and just direct to consumer through the website. So that's been the most successful. And we are looking through other distribution channels now to get into more boutiques and some other online marketplaces to expand our reach. But it's been interesting to be sitting in a booth in Portland and making sales in New Jersey and Chicago. And it's like, I haven't even seen you, but thank you.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. And I'm curious how being a woman has impacted your journey.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It's definitely more challenging in the business world. I think we've seen a lot of the data about the amount of investment that women get. And so the financing part of it is probably one of the biggest struggles. Access to resources. I mean, there's also the reality of this is like my third full-time job. So balancing everything, right? I'm still the primary caretaker of my children, still like primary breadwinner and another job. And so being able to like balance all three things, it can be very taxing, and making sure that I'm still able to fully show up for my children and not like passing off any of that stress or burden. But remembering that these paths are all thoughtful choices. It's intentional chaos, and it's a blessing to have these problems. They're good problems.
Yes. It's amazing. And we don't realize it at the time that we're doing it, but what an impact it has on our children to see us lead in a way that's not traditional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's actually been one of my biggest drivers. I think one of the favorite things that we do together are like the photo shoots. They're just so much fun. And this last one I did, I told my kids, I'm like, you know what? I'm getting models this time. We're growing. I'm going to get models. And so you don't have to be in this photo shoot. And the look they gave me, they were so mad. They're like, how dare you do a photo shoot without us? And then seeing them on set, I mean, they just really bring it to life. They just have so much fun. And that's like a big part of it too, is that they are part of this process. It's fun along the way. They see how much work it takes. When we get the big shipment and they're helping me bring the boxes inside and packing orders and shipping orders, like they see it, they feel it, they're a part of it.
Oh, that's so good.
It really is. I love that. Yeah. And you'll watch them grow. So I can imagine like looking back on this 10 years from now and seeing like your kids at these younger ages in the photo shoots will just, it's like a snapshot in time, and it brings up a lot of memory. So maybe it seems like, oh, we don't have to be part of it, but I love that they have ownership in it, a stake in it. And they feel like they want to participate. That is amazing. So how many models did you have in addition to your children this year?
I want to say about six there. Yes. Yeah. You know, sometimes we get scrappy. There was our upcoming collection. We did a shoot earlier this year, and we just reached out to friends and family. I'm like, okay, who's comfortable having their kids on social media?
Yeah.
So that's always kind of the first question. And just kind of getting scrappy and, recruiting friends, family members, and then kind of evolving into the more professional model space as we go.
That's amazing. And did I understand correct that it's like parent jammies and kid jammies? So like, could you match with your whole family?
Yes. So our first launch was last year, and I only went up to size 5T because I've approached this business from like my own consumer perspective, and my kids were like 5. So we went up to 5T, and then this year I got a lot of feedback from customers saying, "Do you have it in my size too? Do you have this? The bigger kid sizes, the adult sizes?" So this year we did expand to the full family matching, and 2 of our prints, and it's been so fun to see. I mean, I sold out of my adult pajama pants super quick. Those went like fire. I was like, okay, you guys really like that. And a lot of the feedback I get is people, they put it on and it's the best night's sleep they've ever had. They never want to wear anything else. And even when I check my social media, different, I'm constantly seeing my pajamas in people's reels as they're doing transitions or different things. And it's just such a testament that they feel so cozy in them. They look so cute.
I love that. So I'm wondering about your intellectual property and how you protect that. Like I'm seeing so many people talk about the small business and their designs not being respected as they would like. So how much of a challenge is that?
Yeah, this is real talk in the fashion world. You basically can't the designs. I think the legal requirements are you just need to have 10 differences and you can't protect it. And so really the strategy I got earlier this year from a mentor was you just have to know there's going to be copycats and you just have to stay a step ahead. And I've seen people copying some of my prints. I've seen people copying my story, which is a little weird. But it just kind of understand that staying rooted in who I am, my authentic self and the vision, nobody can copy that. Nobody can copy. They can copy where I've been, but not where I'm going. And they, just being rooted in the quality of my products, the authenticity, customer service, and just really serving people in the best way that I can. And I think consumers ultimately resonate with that. It's definitely a harder world now where I think, especially with Amazon, we're getting more comfortable with like the knockoffs and the spoofs. I think there's like a higher tolerance for that in the market. So I'm curious how that will continue to go. But that's ultimately my strategy is staying rooted is just the integrity of the quality of the products, customer service, the vision of where we're going to go.
This is an interesting point you're raising because it applies in product design and product delivery, but it also just applies in life in general, right? So when we're always, whether we're interviewing for a job or we're out, meeting people, what's our differentiator? What makes us us, right?
Yeah.
And we're constantly, especially right now in this world of social media, constantly in the comparisonitis, right? Oh, look at them. They're so much this and they're so much that. And I'm not this and I'm not that. But really, the most important thing we can be is our authentic selves, right? And show what matters. They can't, like you said so beautifully, they can't copy my story.
Yeah. Amazing points.
There's an aspect of this that I've thought about as well too. In a female entrepreneurs group I've been in of kind of, the conversation is about raising each other up and how there's room for all of us. And I really just think like how many different types of Christmas pajamas are there out there? So I also think like the copycats, when you're validating that there's a need and you're providing more to others. And that is also beautiful. So kind of from all those different angles.
And so I have 2 boys and a daughter, and my boys live in their pajama pants. They're in college now. They're in their second year of college, and they literally go to class in pajama pants. I'm like, dudes, you have jeans, you have like track pants, you have real pants, and they literally go to class in pajama bottoms. They even went to a Halloween party. One of them went to a Halloween party with like their costume over pajama bottoms.
I mean, this is normal, Sandra. What are you talking about?
It's comfortable, right? It's comfortable.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Katie's a proponent of doing this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things that the pandemic enabled is for us to accept being comfortable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
true.
Yes.
So what other holidays do your products celebrate?
Yes. So we're super excited. Some upcoming launches. We've got one coming. It's actually going to drop next week. That is kind of more of a non-seasonal. It's more of our auto rickshaw. So you see my pillows behind. We're popping those onto our pajamas. So we're very excited about that. I kind of looking at my son's fire truck pajamas one night, thought like, what would be the Indian South Asian like similarity version of this, right? It's like we see race cars and fire trucks on literally everything, right? Like what would be the South Asian version? So we've got the autos coming out in a few weeks, and then we're working on a spring collection that's more focused on Holi, the festival color. So I'm very excited about that collection that's coming out.
Very exciting. And what kind of, I don't know much about Diwali, so I would love to learn a little bit more about that holiday, what it celebrates. And yeah, I'm wondering if you could just educate me and the audience about that.
Yes, it's the Festival of Lights, conquering light over darkness, and which is really kind of a beautiful, I think as I've been exploring these different holidays, it made me realize like how many of our rituals in this like darker period, right, where it's, you know, the days are getting shorter, we're going into the dark, and how many different traditions have some sort of holiday that's about bringing light to it. It's like even if you look at Halloween, Christmas, like we're putting our lights up, and we've got the light coming in, and so Diwali is in that same essence of celebrating that light. So we brought the diyas in to our motifs. And I remember a friend telling me when her son it was like pajama day at school. So he wore his pajamas to school, and he got to tell the teacher all about the significance of the diyas and Diwali. And the mom was just like so excited, because in a lot of these households, the way that they typically celebrate will be a lot of like the prayers and the rituals, and then kind of family and dinner. And the kids aren't necessarily really that into it because they don't have as much of like the entertainment factor. And so that is a lot of the feedback I've gotten from the community of like when the kids wear the pajamas, like they actually get excited about the holiday. Like they feel more connected in a different way.
And just the excitement of being able to share about your culture and your beliefs, right? In a culture that doesn't really encourage that sometimes.
Yeah. A lot of the dialogue I hear from people is like growing up, they might want to hide that part of themselves. They wouldn't necessarily want to wear like their ethnic wear at school or come out. They would try very hard to be American. And I think that really is starting to shift a little bit, even in our current environment. I think there's probably pockets of both. But I am seeing people being more comfortable and being more bold. There was a recent Gap ad that included a South Asian that was really exciting. And then there's been a lot of commentary kind of in the fashion world about people using South Asian influences. And so it is becoming more prevalent and taking up more space in the conversation. And that's really what I've been trying to push as well, is making space for those conversations and for people to feel completely whole. We hear a lot about, oh, I'm too Indian to be American. I'm too American to be Indian. And that's such like a glass half full way of looking at things. And I really wanted to encourage my kids, future generation, to really be comfortable embracing all of themselves. Like, I am all of who I am. And when they do that, it's not that you're taking a box off a shelf that somebody has defined what's inside that box. Like, you get to define what that means for you. So you can say, yes, I'm of Indian heritage, and this is what it means for me. Talking to my friends, it's so fun to say, well, for me, I'm really into dance, so I like to express my identity through dance. Or in others, I really love to cook the food. So we'll do a lot of fusion foods at home, and making that okay. Like, it doesn't have to be a certain way to express identity. Like, you can define what feels good to you.
So powerful.
Yeah. And super healthy approach.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you looking to bring other cultural representation in?
I have been thinking about that. And the immediate pipeline is still focused in the South Asian prints. I think I just have a lot of ideas there right now. But I do think of my children as almost global citizens. We love to travel. Last year, we spent a few weeks in Europe, and we'll go down to South America and kind of have visions of being like world travelers and just exploring the whole world. And so the brand Ary Maan is really named after them and kind of how they explore the world. And so I'm, yes, definitely interested in introducing, you know, more cultural identities and prints, just making sure that it's very authentic and rooted in the messaging. That will always be very true. I have a previous experience as a Peace Corps volunteer in West Africa. And so I think that was kind of one of my first like really fashion fusion attempts, where I had so much fun getting clothing made over there, where I would bring the tailor. I'm like, okay, I want this neckline, but I want like this waist and this length, and like try to piece all these pieces together in fashion design. And so I see a lot of opportunity in the African context as well to make things a little bit more comfortable. The prints are so fabulous, but the fabric doesn't really have a lot of stretch. It also isn't very comfortable to wear. So there's lots of opportunities. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, exactly. Expanding everybody's awareness, and then bringing it to people in something so relatable. So like you're saying, our comfort place, our pajamas, and making it something that Sandra's sons can wear to class.
Yes.
With pride and meaning.
Yeah.
And it's not another fire truck, or I don't know, what Starburst, or like what symbols they are. I'm like, what does that even mean? What does that mean to you?
And I think what you're also raising is a good point for mothers that maybe have girls, or for those who have not had just boys. It's really hard to find cool and exciting colors for boys, because everything is gray, everything is stripes, everything is muted, everything is, you know, once they get out of the fire truck phase, which happens fairly quickly, you won't catch my 19-year-olds wearing fire trucks to school. Everything becomes like a plaid of some sort.
It's so true. Like, what drives, I mean, I even look at my kids' closet. My son has one shelf and my daughter has 3. And it's just more fun to buy. Like, the boy options are just so boring. Like, why? Who drives that?
Yeah. And there's some discussion too about gender specifics, right? And how clothes targeted towards young girls are more sending biased messages, right? Like, you should be a princess, or you should be this kind of girl. And then boys' clothes, even though they're all gray and navy and black, are sending messages like, you can be a superhero. So sending this message of like, where you come from is super important. What you do is super important. I think that might also help level that playing field and empower kids to feel like they can do anything because they have their special pajamas on.
Yeah. No, that's actually been an interesting thing in my design perspective, because I first came into it thinking, oh, I need to have like a more male boy gender skewed print, a more female skewed print, and then a neutral print. And it's been interesting to see what people actually choose to purchase, and like what my intention was is not necessarily what's been resonating. They really are kind of seeing all the prints as gender neutral, which has been really good feedback, also very inspiring, and then making me think a little bit more about future prints and which direction to go, and do we need to have that bifurcation, that male female, and how do we kind of eliminate that and evolve that further?
I love that.
Yeah, so powerful, because even what Annette was talking about in terms of prints and what's on the pajamas at younger ages, what I notice is when girls start to get out of the girl sizes, 11 or 12 and 12 up to 16 sizes, they're still young girls. They can be like anywhere from 9, depending on how bulky or how tall they are. They can be anywhere from 9 to 12. And then you move into cuts and shapes that are very sexualized for young girls. And I struggle with that as a mom.
Yes. My daughter's 7. I think I want to be in denial. But I've certainly seen certain places, and I ask myself, okay, what is this I'm feeling? What am I reacting to? What should I be reacting to? What is the message that I want to send? There was one thing that my dad had told me when I was a young girl and first wanting to wear makeup, and it was a Catholic school. And I was like, well, what's wrong with wanting to be attractive? And he said to me, it's fine. You just have to ask yourself, who are you attracting and what are you attracting them to? And that was always, and so then it always became my mind. And if I put on, depending on what I wear, then I'm always aware, like, what is the message that I'm sending to the world? What is it that I'm putting out there? And how I feel in my body and comfort levels. So it's something, I cannot dress my daughter. She's got literally when we were in Europe, I took her like on a shopping spree in Paris, like living my childhood dream, and she refuses to wear any of it. She is literally wearing the same like fleece lined pajama, like pants that are like 2 sizes too small. And Holden's like, you have so many cute clothes. Why don't you want to dress this? But I think it is just kind of also responding to her and just letting her navigate her identity in her own way, and just kind of supporting her, and having it be a dialogue, like, why are you choosing to wear this, or why not that, or how does it make you feel, or what makes you more comfortable? So I think like getting curious and understanding. I don't know, our world is so complex. It's like, what messages are also being sent to these young girls? So
yeah,
a whole nother topic.
Yeah, all of that.
Right. And I think that you're starting this, right? You started at a place of like, okay, I have this need, which all of our conversations this season have really started with women saying, I had this need that I couldn't find filled anywhere else. So I had to fill it for myself. And same story for you, which is amazing. And then you found the way to fill this particular need. And now you've expanded your horizons and you're saying, how can I continue this conversation? How can I build on filling this need and fill other needs? And I think it's a super healthy way to look at growth and evolution and answering those questions that arise through your life's experience. And then you can fulfill it through what you've created. So bravo to you.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Through this journey, I kind of say that I'm an accidental entrepreneur. Like, I just set out, if I could sew, I probably would have just made a pair of pajamas. So
and that might have been the end of the story, right? We might not be talking to you today, but you can't sew, but you still had this big problem that you're like, this has to be solved for me and maybe for other families. And now you've got this whole thought process of like, oh, how could I expand this? What could I do with this?
Exactly. And I kind of realized in this journey that we're really only limited by our own beliefs and visions.
Yes.
Like it really is so true. Like the bigger you dream, you'll find a way to get there. Like, I had no idea how to manufacture clothing, but I found a way. I had no idea how to do online sales, but we figured it out. And you're not going to learn everything on day one. It's going to be an evolution. You're going to make mistakes, a whole lot of them. And that's just part of the process. I'm reflecting now on like, okay, what decisions did I make this year that I should have made differently? Or what decisions should I make for the future years? And just having that grace that it's not going to be perfect. It's okay. Just learn as you go and just keep moving forward, keep dreaming bigger, and surrounding yourself with other big dreamers that are kind of rooting for you and helping to expand your horizons and have fun along the way.
That resonates so deeply because I feel like, and I don't know, Annette, if you're going to agree with what I'm about to say, but even just looking at this podcast, right? And we want it to be perfect. We want to have all the scripting and all this and all that, and, all the fancy emails, and we want to have and we just want to be there. And, it gets frustrating when we're like kind of, poking along and making mistakes and, oh, we shouldn't have done that, or this is harder now. And I'm the kind of person who wants to get to the finish line, and all the stuff in between gets frustrating sometimes. But we forget that's such an important part of the growth process.
It is the journey. I think it's like the goalpost is always moving. If you don't enjoy the journey, you'll never appreciate what it is you're building. Right?
Yes.
I'm a huge believer in celebrating everything along the way.
Well, it's easy to get bogged down, right? Yes, this great thing happened here, and then, oh, I've got this to do, this to do, this to do, and then that great thing gets buried under your to-do list, and it can be very demoralizing. So I feel like you have to at least unearth those wonderful things that happen like once a day. At the end of the day, I teach my clients this, right? Can you just celebrate one little tiny win? It doesn't have to be huge, but what was good about today? And then that sets you up and sustains you through the week. And then at the end of the week, when you look back, you're like, oh, I'm pretty awesome. But it doesn't get you stuck under that big to-do list, which, keeps growing, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Always. I can't remember who it was now, but there was some like finance entrepreneur guru I was listening to speak, and he talked about the highs and lows in business and how there will always be this constant roller coaster of emotions, and how you have to really the ones that like do well and survive are the ones that don't let themselves get too caught up in either the highs or the lows, but they always have sight that it will just always kind of be this fluctuation, to have the gratitude and the highs, and then to kind of push yourself through the lows, but kind of letting yourself stay a little more even tempered. And I'm definitely one that can feel the highs and feel the lows. So that was really like helpful for me to hear, and just kind of understanding how I can manage my own reactions and emotions through the journey. And thinking about that too, it's like when you have to go, I'll like prepare my mental state for my work day, in the sense of, if I know I have a lot of stuff I don't want to do and it doesn't feel good, and it's like not the fun stuff, I'll start with something fun to get myself in like a happier state, happier emotion. And then I feel better doing the stuff that's not as much fun. We'll still do it. But just kind of also making sure like my emotions, my mental state are in a place where I have more resiliency to handle the kind of the less fun stuff that you just got to get through.
Yeah. And
I can't start with the fun stuff.
You can't?
No. Because if I start with the fun stuff, I'll never get to the stuff I don't want to do. It's kind of like eating dessert first. Yeah.
It's true. It's your reward at the end, right? Yeah. So that's your motivator. That's how you're managing your mental state.
And you're juggling multiple things. So mom, a regular 9 to 5, and then this passion project. So where do you find the time, or how do you make the time to fit it in?
Yeah, I have also been, I've always been like insanely good at time management and just very efficient at things. I think becoming a mother, I became even more so. And I just really I'm very outcome focused and less task focused of like, what is the outcome that I'm looking for? And I'll come in and be like, okay, what do I need to move the needle on today? Like, which one needs my attention the most? And let's start there. And yeah. And there are times when I make the to-do list where I'm like, okay, these are the things that need to happen. But it's always more from that perspective of like, what is actually going to move the needle? What's going to drive the biggest impact? Not being a blocker for other people. Like, I think the most you can get other people to do things, like that's the number one. Like if I can get other people delegation, moving on things that I'm not the blocker, get it out of my head and into someone else's tasks, that is super helpful as well. But a lot of it really is just the mindset of gratitude of like, this is chosen intentional chaos. I think if you come into, we have such like a glorification of overwork and we're always so busy, and I will not ascribe to that at all. I think if you're working too much, then it's like just time management or resource. It's like you get to choose where you are and what you focus on. And once you start changing, there was like a phrase that I really liked. Instead of saying I don't have time for something, I didn't prioritize something. And it just is a mental shift on how you focus your energy and your time. It's like taking that ownership of you do ultimately own what you get to work on and what you prioritize.
Yeah, choosing it. Wonderful. So Katy, tell us about where we can find you.
Actually, before she does.
Oh yeah, please.
Before she does, I wanted to jump in on something you said, Katy. And I saw this, I saw this woman on TikTok this weekend, and she was talking about how, you know, we drive ourselves crazy cleaning up and doing things and always complaining about how the house is a mess and whatever. And you were talking about intentional chaos, right? She called it your crime scene of survival.
I love this. I think Katy's there with that.
I love that. It's so true. It's so true. Like, I mean, I did just have the kids clean up the house yesterday, but most of the time, it's like, no, I don't have to do the dishes right now. We can go out and play in the yard, or your toys everywhere. That's your work. Okay. This is your work area. It's okay. I think making space to kind of like clean up our environments, but no, it's intentional. And it shows that you're living a life, and that there's people in your life.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. Okay, Katy, where can we find out more? Where can I order my boys some pajama pants?
Yes. So definitely follow us on Instagram. That's where we're most active in social media, at Ary Maan. And then do join our email list, because we are dropping our new auto collection in a week. And our community members will get early access and discount codes. So you can sign up on our website, aryaandmaan.com, to join our email list. And those are the two top places. So, yeah.
How amazing.
I love this conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your inspiration.
Guys, thank you so much. This was so lovely.
That's a wrap on this episode of Exposing the Hidden Reality. If something hit home or made you snort laugh, tell us.
Seriously, we love hearing from you. Message us, tag us, or send us coffee. We love coffee.
And hey, leave a review. It helps more women find us and boosts our egos.
Which are like fragile, like suspiciously fragile.
True. All right, until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and if all else fails,
Bring the dog.
See you
next time.
Wait, did we stop recording?
No, we're still here. You have to push the red button.
Red button. Cool. Just eternal podcast.
Bye.
Bye.